These are the crown jewels of the Russian Empire, a collection worth over $7 billion today that survived revolution, war, and the systematic destruction of an entire royal dynasty. For over 3 centuries, the Romanovs built what may have been the most spectacular treasure in human history, only to watch it scatter across the globe in one of history's most dramatic falls from grace. Our story starts in 1613, when a teenage boy named Michael Romanov became Tsar, ending Russia's chaotic time of troubles. What happened next was an unprecedented accumulation of wealth, spanning 300 years and 7 generations of rulers. By 1918, when the dynasty collapsed, the Romanov fortune reached $55 billion in today's money, making them arguably the wealthiest family who ever lived. Tsar Peter the Great transformed the Romanovs from merely rich royals into custodians of a national treasure. In 1719, Peter issued a revolutionary decree establishing the diamond room in the Kremlin, replacing the ancient tradition tied to the crown of monarch, the medieval crown that had crowned Russian rulers for centuries. Unlike other European monarchies where jewels belonged to individual rulers, Peter declared these treasures belonged to the Russian state itself. No emperor or empress could sell, give away, or alter the collection. Each ruler had to add new pieces during their reign, ensuring the treasure would only grow with time. Peter's innovation created something unprecedented, a perpetual collection of imperial regalia that would outlast any single monarch. The Diamond Room became the foundation of what we now call the Diamond Fund, housed within what would later become the Hermitage Museum complex in the Winter Palace, containing not just pretty baubles, but symbols of Russian power designed to last forever. Catherine the Great understood this vision better than anyone. She contributed more to the Diamond Fund than any other monarch, driven by what can only be described as an obsession with precious stones. Catherine even named her favorite stallion Diamond. Her passion reached its peak in 1762, when court jewelers Georg Friedrich Eckart and Jeremy Polsey created the Great Imperial Crown for her coronation in just 2 months. The crown they produced was nothing short of spectacular. They adorned it with 4,936 diamonds and 75 pearls, then topped it with one of the world's largest spinels, a 398-carat red gem called the Menshikov Ruby, purchased in China in 1702. At 32 millimeters wide and 35 millimeters tall, this stone alone would be worth tens of millions today. The entire crown represented the technical pinnacle of 18th century jewelry making. Catherine also acquired the legendary Orlov diamond, a 189-carat behemoth that came with its own mysterious backstory. According to legend, this diamond once served as the eye of a deity in the Sri Ranganathaswamy temple in southern India. A French soldier allegedly disguised himself as a Hindu convert to steal the gem in the mid-18th century. This magnificent stone likely originated from the legendary Golconda mines of India, the same source that produced many of the world's most famous diamonds. Count Grigory Orlov purchased it for Catherine at the staggering price of 1.4 million Dutch florins, equivalent to $84 million today. Whether the temple story is true or not, the Orlov diamond became one of the crown jewels of the Russian Empire, a stone so large you could hold it in your palm like a crystal paperweight. The collection continued growing under later rulers. Alexander II purchased a massive 260-carat Ceylon sapphire from an Indian Raja at the 1862 London Expo. The Diamond Fund also housed a 136-carat emerald called the Green Queen, an 88-carat diamond inscribed with Persian script known as the Shah diamond, and a portrait miniature of Alexander I overlaid with a 27-carat diamond, the largest portrait diamond in the world. But perhaps the most famous treasures associated with the Romanovs weren't kept in the Diamond Fund at all. These were the legendary Faberge Easter eggs, created by master jeweler Peter Carl Faberge starting in 1885. Alexander III commissioned the first egg as an Easter gift for his wife, Empress Maria Feodorovna. The tradition continued under his son, Nicholas II, with 50 imperial eggs created between 1885 and 1916. These weren't simple decorations. Each egg was a masterpiece of engineering and artistry, taking nearly a year to complete. They contained intricate mechanical surprises, including miniature coronation coaches, golden yachts, even tiny replicas of the Trans-Siberian Railway. The first egg cost 4,151 rubles. By 1913, the winter egg, designed by Alma Peel and featuring carved rock crystal adorned with 4,500 diamonds and platinum snowflakes, cost 24,600 rubles. To put this in perspective, the average Russian factory worker earned 22 rubles per month. 1913 marked the height of Romanov splendor. Nicholas II organized a massive celebration for the dynasty's 300th anniversary, commissioning 2,000 objects from Faberge for his guests alone. Agathon Faberge, Peter Carl's son, had meticulously catalogued the crown jewels during 1913 to 1914, creating detailed records that would later prove invaluable when the collection was dispersed. The imperial family seemed untouchable, their treasure secure for future generations. But revolutionary winds were already stirring, and within 5 years, everything would be gone. When World War I broke out, the crown jewels were loaded into 9 strongboxes and moved from St. Petersburg to the Moscow Kremlin for safekeeping. It was a smart move. By March 1917, Nicholas II was forced to abdicate, and the Bolsheviks seized power later that year. The royal family's fate was sealed. On July 17, 1918, in a basement in Yekaterinburg, the Romanov dynasty came to a brutal end. Yakov Yurovsky, the Bolshevik executioner, led a firing squad that killed Nicholas, his wife Alexandra Feodorovna, and their 5 children. But the execution revealed an astonishing secret that the family had kept hidden for months. As bullets struck the Grand Duchesses, some ricocheted off their bodies. The girls and Alexandra Feodorovna had sewn the family jewels into their clothing, corsets, underwear, belts and hats, all concealing precious stones. The family had code-named this desperate measure arranging the medicines. When the Bolsheviks finally disposed of the bodies, they discovered 41,000 carats, 18 pounds, of diamonds hidden in the victims' garments. Yurovsky later recalled with amazement that the daughters had beautifully made bodices consisting entirely of diamonds and other precious jewels. The Bolsheviks inherited the world's finest jewelry collection, but they needed money more than symbols of imperial power. In 1920, they established Gokran, an organization tasked with cataloging and selling the treasures. Mineralogist A.E. Fersman created detailed catalogues of the collection, and he wrote that the history of the diamond treasure reflects the history of the Romanovs during the first 2 centuries, with their exceeding lavishness in some cases and their extreme avarice in others. The sales began almost immediately. Norman Weiss purchased bulk lots weighing nearly 10 kilograms for £50,000. American businessman Armand Hammer became one of the largest purchasers of Romanov treasures during the 1920s and the 1930s, acquiring numerous Faberge eggs and other imperial artifacts that he would later sell to collectors worldwide. In March 1927, Christie's London held an auction titled Jewels of the Russian State, dispersing masterpieces of Russian jewelry art to private collectors. By the end of the 1920s, approximately 2/3 of the original Romanov collection had been sold off. What remains in Russia today represents only 1/3 of the dynasty's treasure. Not everyone supported these sales. Dmitry Ivanov, head of the Kremlin armory, became increasingly distressed by the systematic disposal of Russia's cultural heritage. In 1930, Unable to bear watching the ongoing theft of his country's treasures, Ivanov committed suicide rather than participate in their destruction. Meanwhile, the Faberge company itself collapsed. When the Bolsheviks nationalized his firm, Peter Carl Faberge fled to Switzerland, where he died in 1920 of what curator Geisa von Habsburg called a broken heart. His life's work was scattered across the globe as the imperial eggs were sold to private collectors and museums worldwide. Some treasures vanished entirely. The legendary Amber Room, a gift to Peter the Great from Prussia in 1716, disappeared during World War II when the Nazis dismantled and removed the entire room. Despite decades of searching, it has never been found, though in 2008, German investigators claimed to have located it 60 feet underground near the village of Deutschneudorf. A painstaking reconstruction was completed at the Catherine Palace in 2003, requiring 6 tons of amber, costing $11.35 million and demanding 20 years of work by master craftsmen. 7 imperial Faberge eggs remain missing to this day, but occasionally one surfaces in the most unexpected way. In 2014, an American scrap dealer purchased what he thought was junk at a flea market for $14,000. When he researched the Vacheron Constantin inscription on the clock inside, he discovered he had bought the 3rd imperial Easter egg worth $33 million. The surviving treasures have found new homes around the world. Russian oligarch Viktor Vekselberg spent over $100 million purchasing Malcolm Forbes's collection of 9 imperial eggs just before they went to auction in 2004. In 2013, Vekselberg opened the Faberge Museum in St. Petersburg's Shuvalov Palace, returning these masterpieces to Russian soil. The Diamond Fund itself, reduced but still magnificent, opened to the public in 1967. Visitors to the Kremlin can now see the Great Imperial Crown, the Orlov Diamond, and hundreds of other surviving pieces. In 2012, to celebrate the crown's 250th anniversary, craftsmen created a modern replica, proving that the skills to create such masterpieces still exist. The market for imperial treasures remains robust. Just last month, the winter egg shattered all records when it sold at Christie's London for $30.2 million, becoming the most expensive Faberge piece ever sold at auction. Made from carved rock crystal and adorned with platinum snowflakes and 4,500 diamonds, it represents one of only 7 imperial eggs still in private hands. Today, the surviving imperial eggs are scattered across the globe. 10 sit in the Kremlin Armory, 9 in Vekselberg's museum, 5 in the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts in Richmond, and 3 belong to the British royal family. The rest reside in various museums and private collections, tangible reminders of an empire that once controlled 1/6 of the world's land surface. The treasure of the Russian Tsars represents more than just accumulated treasure. It embodies 3 centuries of artistic achievement, political power, and cultural ambition, all destroyed in a single basement room in 1918. The scattered gems and masterpieces tell the story of a dynasty that rose from chaos to unimaginable heights, only to fall victim to the very revolutionary forces their own excesses helped create. From Peter the Great's visionary diamond fund to the last Faberge egg rolling across a basement floor in Yekaterinburg, the Romanov treasures remind us that no fortune, however vast, can guarantee survival. The crown jewels outlasted the crown itself, but they could not preserve the world that created them. What remains serves as both monument and warning, a glittering testament to the rise and fall of Imperial Russia. But as incredible as the Romanov fortune was, there is one artifact that makes their entire $55 billion collection look like pocket change. An ancient seal that was worth more than entire kingdoms, so valuable that emperors waged centuries of war just to possess it. And today, it has completely vanished. That is the heirloom seal of the realm, and its story is next.